Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
Presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Wait, we're doing a podcast?
Zach.
Yeah.
Don't make me angry.
What's your secret, though?
You won't like me when I'm angry.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? That's fine. I'll keep your secrets to yourself. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do something a little different, just like how the Hulk did something a little different. We're going to go into She-Hulk. Woohoo!
Attorney at Law.
Attorney at Law, which brought to us by Disney and Marvel, which does mean, since we are Disney cast members, we do not speak for the brand or the company.
And our thoughts are our own.
They are, but we will break the fourth wall to bring them to you.
We literally are breaking the fourth wall by talking to them, Zach.
Hi, friends. But don't worry, we'll go ahead. Normally, we talk about the director and screenplay and created by here. We're kind of going to just kind of go through these because directing wise, I thought it was just kind of, it wasn't bad.
No.
But it wasn't like the best either. Like I think there was a lot of room that the directors could have played with, but I feel like they kind of just played it safe on this one. The directors for this one, it's kind of split up between two. Kat Corio did most of the episode. She did episodes 1 through 4, then took a small break and did episodes 8 and 9. And during that small break, Anu Valilia took over episodes 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I will agree. There was a lot of room for improvement, but who knows? Maybe they'll learn their lessons and figure it out in later Marvel projects, maybe.
Maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to having them come back, though. I think there were some nice isms and ideas that I feel the directors did bring to this project. So I wouldn't be opposed to having them back.
The screenplays were written by
a writer's room.
Let's just put it this way. If we wrote down every single writer, we wouldn't have time to talk about everything else, and we need to sleep.
Yeah, that's fair. So we do want to give credit to you guys. So thank you, Marvel Writers Room. You guys did a pretty good job, honestly, on this series.
Especially for someone like She-Hulk.
Yes. It's a very delicate balance. Do I think they could have done a little bit better? Admittedly, yes. But honestly, with all the things that they had going for it, I thought it was a very great ride.
Yeah. So, and it was created by Stan Lee.
R.I.P., man. We still miss you, dude.
Summary. Thank you, IMDb. Jennifer Walters navigates, the complicated life of a single 30-something attorney who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk. Sounds like a dating life about to hit the derail station.
Nah, you're fine. Don't worry. She's balancing work-life balance, dude.
All right.
But I have to ask, for our newbies, could you go ahead and explain how we split up our episodes for me?
Well, I sure can.
Thank
we
you.
just did the introduction. Yay.
Ta-da!
Then we also have a non-spoiler section. Well, I will give my thoughts. Zach will give his. We will talk about the cast and also other non-spoilerly things. Then we will state our review, and we will discuss how we split up our review in due time once we get to that point. And then we will, or one of us, or both of us, will sound the alarm. And then we will talk about our spoiler section. And talk about spoilerly things that we can't talk about right now because we're not in that spoiler section.
No, we don't have to.
And then we will end the show.
Bid you adieu.
And bid you adieu. Hopefully that you stay with us and listen to us and enjoy all of our content. But yeah, so
it's time for the main event.
Wow, you are really bearded.
Yeah, it's growing out a little bit more.
I tried to cover his face.
It was fuzzy. But no, it's fine.
I'm going to start.
Yeah, Mitch, what is your first thoughts on She-Hulk?
It was good. I feel like it could have been better, but I also kind of felt that I didn't really know what I was going to get out of this because I didn't know if I was going to get that rom-com sitcom vibe. I don't know if it was going to be an action series. I just didn't know what we were going to get, but overall, it was solid.
You enjoyed what you got?
Yeah, I enjoyed what I got. I wanted a little bit more from certain characters, but we'll talk about that later. But overall, it was a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, buddy. That's kind of sums up my first thoughts too. I was looking for like a, Jessica Biel courtroom sitcom. It didn't, or Ally McBeal. That's what I was trying to say. Ally McBeal.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. I don't know where any of that came from, but Ally McBeal. I was looking for that.
You're just
and
tired.
I think that's what they were aiming for. They kind of missed the mark on it, especially because, Ally McBeal focused a lot more on the courtroom side of it as well. And we just didn't see a whole bunch of that. But at the same time, if we only focused on the courtroom, then we would only have Law and Order and not so great characters. So, I'm okay that they kind of expense the courtroom to set up the characters. And if we move forward into a season 2, which I would very much like to see, we focus more on the courtroom aspect of She-Hulk, because I think that can really shine.
All right, now it's cast time. First, we're going to talk about Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She was really good.
Phenomenal. I'm actually going to place her as my second favorite character now in the MCU, in the current standing MCU. She's still behind our very Miss Marvel, because, oh my God, I still love Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. But Tatiana Maslany is a close second, and I'm not just talking about general, I'm not talking about actresses versus actors. No, in general, the hierarchy for me right now, specifically for characters, Iman Vellani is Miss Marvel, Tatiana Maslany is She-Hulk, and number 3, it's a tie between the very short amount of time that we got to see a specific character that I can't talk about right now, and my third would also have to go to Anthony Mackie's Falcon / Captain America.
I don't know if I would rate her that high, but she was still very, very well portrayed by Tatiana. I kind of wanted more of a lot of her antics. I won't say what antics those were, because I'll say that for the spoiler section. But yeah, she was very, very, bravo. She knew exactly what she needed to do with this show. She knew she had to be the headliner, and I have no complaints with it, with her performance at all. I kind of wanted a little bit more, maybe a script change for a few of her scenes. But other than that, she did great.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, for sure. But another person that we should definitely talk about is Ginger Gonzaga, who played Nikki Ramos,
which is hilarious.
Which is Jen's best friend, and she really was hilarious. She was really great.
So there's that best friend for the lead that is, I'm going to say this right now, she was funnier, she was more attractive, and she just had a compelling story to everything and had compelling lines, and she was just so funny and helped out Jen throughout the whole entire show. I'm just I want more. I want a spin-off of Nikki Ramos, meeting other side Marvel characters. I'm a little disappointed, with Wong or something like that. She would be so funny with that.
I could just picture her and Wong episode, and that would be phenomenal.
You know what I mean?
Phenomenal.
Because she was so funny. Literally, she stole the show every single time she was on screen.
Yeah, no, I loved her as well. She did a really great job with that. We got a little thunderstorm coming
No,
through.
it's fireworks.
Oh, you're right. It is fireworks.
Yeah, because we're at my house, not Zach's. So.
I'm sorry. You're right. It's a Mickey's Not So Scary night. So you're right. That's right on time. But it's okay. It's solid. I just kind of forgot that it was a Mickey's Not So Scary night.
Zach shat his britches a little bit. So.
It's fine. It's cool. It's great. I just thought it was a thunderstorm. Genuinely.
You're starting to stink a little bit. You need to change.
You shut it. But moving back onto topic, another character that I really, really, really want to talk about and love was Josh Segarra's Pug. Oh my gosh. Pug is the perfect way to describe this character because he's like a little puppy. And I just loved from the moment he stepped in with a welcome basket, I was like, I'm going to love this dude so much. And I did. Every single time he had my attention, every single time he was on screen. I adored this character.
Yeah, I will agree 110%. It's hard to believe because he was in one of the seasons of Arrow as, I think, Prometheus.
Yes, he was.
And he stank in that show. Like, he was bad. I don't know, it was bad scripting, bad directing, and he tried so hard and it just fell flat. With this, I feel like he barely even tried, and with the scenes that he tried really hard, it was because like the scene called for it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh man, I want more. I want another I want to. I just thought of an idea.
What's up?
A Pug and Nicky Ramos spinoff.
I would love that. Well, because a small tiny bit spoiler. We do spend a lot of time. We do spend a section of the series with the two of them, which was fun. It was really, really fun to see them interacting, and just having like their own little offshoot adventure. So I would totally be down to see that as well again.
Oh yeah, but those are our 3 positive of the cast. Our 1 meh, but I thought it was like literal.
Disappointed. I was really disappointed by this next actress.
It's garbage disposal for me.
Really?
Yes. Jamia Jami as Tatiana.
Jamila Jamil.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's okay. This is one of the ones that I do know.
One word for this?
Dude. And here's the thing. I love Jamila in The Good Place. She was phenomenal as a very similar character. But this was, and I could tell that she was trying, and that's the part that hurts me, is that she was so freaking good in The Good Place, and this was almost the exact same character, but she just fell really flat, and I'm so disappointed in it because I was so looking forward to her performance in this show, and her character was just piss poor, just very one note, nothing for her to go on. I feel so bad. I'm so disappointed, and I feel like it comes down to the script for her. I feel like her performance, she gave the best performance that she could with the script, but that script was baloney for her. It did not give her any favors whatsoever.
Yeah, so that's our cast. So now we have a few non-spoilery things. First one is breaking the fourth wall, and
You can't break the fourth wall. We're only in like a 2D dimension with having just ears. You can't break the fourth wall, sir.
I'm talking about She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, to me, wonderful.
Love it.
But I also feel like this could be a test run for a certain character that's coming out in 2024.
Wolverine?
Wait a minute. Hugh Jackman's coming back?
Yeah. In what?
Deadpool 3?
Yeah, that's right.
In November 2024. Not
yeah,
September.
it got readjusted, but that's okay.
Oh yeah. Hey Hugh, you want to come back? Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Whatever, Ryan.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, So I feel like they wanted to kind of differentiate themselves from Deadpool with She-Hulk, but to be honest, I feel like because of that, they were afraid of the fourth wall breaks. And I enjoyed when they happened, but they just didn't happen enough to the point where I forgot that they would fourth wall break. So when they did, it would be like, oh yeah, she does that. I like it, but I completely forgot about it. Where with Deadpool, like it's
you see constant, it all the time.
Constant fourth wall breaking. And I would kind of like to see Jen do that a little bit more because they established that she has her own little world when she goes into it. So actions and whatnot can happen around her, and she might not focus on what's going on around her, but the rest of the cast doesn't affect the world. So like, I just would like to see more of it.
Yeah, I will agree. I just want a little bit more because there were times I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she breaks the fourth wall in this or in the comic books. But yeah, to me, it just felt like a test run. Like, can we break the fourth wall with these characters? And that way now they can prove like, okay, now we can really do it with Deadpool.
Sure.
But the last thing, This is Marvel's first titled sitcom. Even though WandaVision, it's a sitcom.
It pretty much is, but it was a miniseries, and I thought it was a sitcom / intrigue / suspense thriller. I think it was kind of a mix with that, where this was cut and dry, supposed to be a sitcom. This is where it kind of gets a little controversial for this show specifically, because a lot of people thought this was a sitcom that didn't have very much comedy. Personally, I disagree. I think there was plenty of comedy in here, and I ate all of that stuff up. I thought all the comedy bits of it were 100% golden. I love the commentary that it made on just like how it is to be a woman and how kind of fun yet screwed up it is to be a woman. And as a straight white male, I can't exactly relate. I thought I couldn't exactly relate to it, but it went in and I related a lot with Jen on a lot of her things. So I thought it hit close to home, and I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the comedy aspects of the sitcom.
Yeah, I will agree. You pretty much touched up everything that I was going to mention. I enjoyed it very, very much. I also like the romantic side of the sitcom aspect of it, which Marvel hasn't never done until this show. So, yeah, I feel like this is a good step in the water, if you will, of sitcoms that Marvel hasn't done in a while.
It could be better. It could be a little bit more jokey to make it more of that sitcom-y nature. But again, like how you said, a step in the right direction.
All right, it's review time.
Yes.
So, way we do it.
Could I go for this one? Since you described how we do the episode, can I describe how we do the review, please?
You're such a baby.
I know. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Bitch.
All right, friends, this is how we're going to break it down. No, I'm not going to do that voice. Absolutely not. It's too late for that. But
you had that coming.
I did have that coming. So for the review, we split it up into 3 categories. We start with Eat It Up, which it's we loved it. We really highly recommend it. It's a hoot and a half. We invite you to watch it on Disney Plus. Our second category is Cook a Little More, which it's okay. We thought it was all right. Form your own opinion, but to us, it just needed a little more seasoning or a change in director, actor, script change. It just needed something to move it up a level. And then we have our last category, which is Feed It to the Dog. Radley, in this case.
Radley.
Hi, friend. I miss Jazz, but I love you still.
So, Zach, having said those 3 categories, where would you rate this?
It is definitely Eat It Up, but it's on the lower end of it. Because, again, I really love this show. I really love the finale, but there's so much promise in this that it didn't bring it down a whole category for me, but I was a little deflated and disappointed that it didn't live up to all of my expectations. And I hate to say that I did have expectations for it, but I admittedly did.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. It's going to eat it up for me, but also on the very low end. I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities in this show.
100%.
But that's not to say that the next season, if they do decide to go that route, will it be better? Probably. They tend to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for what will happen with She-Hulk in the future.
100%. In the movies?
I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
That might be a spoiler.
That might be a spoiler. But
Sound the alarm. Well,
She-Hulk smash.
Well,
She-Hulk spoilers.
let's also. So you heard the alarm. For those of you that want to leave right now, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to hear. But yeah, it's time.
But thanks for listening. If you have to quit out, we understand. We get you.
But you heard the alarm. It's spoiler time.
It's She-Hulk smashing time.
And it's Daredevil time.
Daredevil finally came. And not only just Daredevil, Ben Affleck is back.
No.
Oh.
It's Charlie Cox.
It is Charlie Cox.
And
we even had a little
Yeah. And I think it's ironic that his last name is Cox because he has a nice steamy scene.
He has a nice heavy package of a scene there, but it's
Jennifer Walters.
But that was fun and that was great. I really love them as a couple, but I know it's destined to fail. But it's fine. It's great. I loved having him back. There was a lot of concern going into having a bit of a lighthearted Daredevil, but I think he worked great.
I did too.
We got to see both sides of Daredevil too. We got to see the Matt Murdock side of the courtroom side of Matt Murdock, and then the anti-hero Daredevil side. Loved both.
And you also
loved both.
You saw his bedside manner walk in with barefoot.
Well, not bedside manner. That's the walk of shame, my friend. He flat out walked ashamed across the screen, and we were all here for it.
Barefoot. Warning. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's always the day after.
We love it.
Yeah. I can't say much more after that.
Yeah, no. It's
Bravo. I love that he came back.
We love Daredevil. We're happy that he's our Daredevil in the MCU.
Now let's talk about the fourth wall break.
But there's multiple. What do you mean? Oh, wait, you mean the fourth wall.
With the finale.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's a bunch going on in the last episode. And
everyone's coming in. Hulk comes in. Tatiana comes in. Abomination grows. Like, everything's just kind of spinning out of control.
And then finally, stop.
You hear the doo-doop coming from your screen whenever you, hit, back from Disney Plus and it goes to the home screen. I genuinely thought I accidentally hit the remote. I was like, oh no, shoot.
So I didn't. I did at first, but I'm like, oh no, this is part of the show.
Yeah.
Because I did look at the remote. I'm like, did I do something? And then finally I'm like, this is part of the show. And she punches her what do you call it? Her?
It's one of the tiles of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It was, I believe, the backstage, behind the scenes Shang-Chi Avengers Assemble backstage thing.
Her tile, and she's like, "Where do I go?" And she tried to find where to go.
Oh yeah, and that's where she punches out the Shang-Chi Avengers Assemble.
She jumps into our world.
Onto a soundstage.
And she walks by the Walt and Mickey
statue. She walks through the Walt and Mickey statue. She goes past Walt Disney Animation. She goes through the lot itself of Walt Disney lot.
I think she walks by Pixar too.
She does. She walks through it all, and I'm just dying laughing through this entire thing.
And then she goes into the big writer's room.
It's like, what the hell?
There's too much going on. And she points out that this literally reminds everybody of the bad stuff that happened in phase 1, phase 2, and some parts of phase 3. And then finally they're like,
well, it's sent from Kevin. And then I shit my pants. I'm not going to lie. I was like, wait, are we going to have a Kevin Feige cameo in this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, we're going to see Kevin Feige in a Marvel. Oh my God. I was flipping out.
And then she goes to find Kevin. And she
finds Kevin.
Well, she has a mini fight scene with some of Kevin's
bodyguards, yes.
Yeah. And then she meets Kevin in this big room, kind of like the evil mastermind, kind of Kingpin-esque, where there's screens.
It reminds me of The Ring, that room from The Ring with the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Because it has all the scenes from the films, the TV shows. I think somebody said they saw the X-Men shows in there too. No Sony, but because
contracts, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see Kevin, which is a robot. It's Kevin Feige.
He's an AI.
Yeah, and he's in charge, and he basically says, "No, this is how we're gonna do this." And she always points out how. This is where we segue into the meta commentary on the MCU.
Yeah, because she goes into the whole thing of
where's X-Men?
Where's X-Men? We always end with a big splashy ending that has almost nothing to do with the previous point. There's no stakes to it. Those aren't my stakes. I want my stakes to be dealt with.
Right.
Which I loved. I like that commentary, and I like that Marvel is hearing like
fans complaints.
feedback about that, because that is a big one. Is just it kind of just goes into this very splashy ending with very low stakes and details. So I'm really happy that was addressed, and I feel like that's like Kevin Feige himself going, I hear you, calm down, we're in phase 1.5 right now, like calm down, y'all. But and then I love the ending of that sequence where Kevin's like, yeah, don't worry, we'll see you when you get into the movies. And She-Hulk goes, really? And he goes, no. I'm like, oh, you jerk. I love you, but you jerk. Oh,
but I love the nice little, and where is the X-Men? And she looks at the camera, and I winked. That was nice. So they fix the episode. Everyone goes. Abomination goes back to prison because he violated his parole.
Yep.
And then her and Daredevil, and Daredevil shows up at the last second.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, hi, Daredevil. Literally. And then her and her family and Matt are having a nice barbecue.
Yeah.
And then here comes
a family member. The family member comes to the barbecue.
It's Hulk.
It's Hulk. I thought it was gonna be for a second Vin Diesel because family, but no, it was the Hulk.
He plays.
It was the Hulk,
yeah.
and he brings family. Actually,
he brings his son.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting down the path of World War Hulk, and I am here for it. Why is Marvel playing with our emotions? Like, the hell? I feel like they are teasing it at this point. Mm-hmm. They are flat out, waving the biscuit in front of our faces. World War Hulk might be upon us soon.
Yeah.
It's close. I just wonder, because Universal technically owns the distribution rights for Hulk movies. Mm-hmm. So has a deal been struck? Did we buy it? Are we doing a Sony situation with Hulk? What are we doing? I'm so intrigued now.
Time will tell. I mean, but I loved when he's like, I want you all to meet my son.
Scar. And then his hairline is receding terribly. But it's...
So I'm going to say that CGI.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
I think some people were working on the next project. But yeah, that's
She-Hulk. Yeah, no, it was a fun ride. I genuinely enjoyed my time with She-Hulk, and I really do hope that we move on to a big, bright, beautiful tomorrow with the second season.
Yeah, but until that time,
I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.